All right, welcome to another man's point of view. I am your host, the Space Luchador, and today I'm going to go ahead and finally give you one of the secrets of the universe. Well, one of the tools that you're going to use so that you can get on the program with the man's point of view. All right, in this case, the Space Luchador's point of view. So I'm going to do a little bit of explanation on basically how reality works. Now, I know this is a little bit out there, right, and complex, if you will, but it opens up the mind, which is why I always say think outside the box. All right, which basically means think out there, right? Don't necessarily mean it doesn't exist or anything, right? But let's see, to those who get it, and to those who don't get it. But the point is, all right, I'm gonna mansplain it, what's going on today in reality and in relationships, and why it's important to know where you stand, at least to liberate the mindset. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with a point, right? Speaking of points, right? So everybody in existence, right, actually exists in time and space, right? Which is represented by this point here, right there. All right, which is neutral. We're going to go ahead and call neutral. All right, and then everybody has the ability to basically operate in this universe, right, of existence in a bunch of different dimensions, right? Like everybody knows, or at least, the theory is that there's 7 dimensions out there, right? Well, we're going to go ahead and start with an easy one, right? We're going to go ahead and do 3 dimensions, right? Of course, there's more. But for now, 1D, 2D, and of course, 3D, which I'm going to represent in a little bit right now. Now, 3D is where I want you guys out there to operate. This is what's going to give you those abilities and the skills that you need to overcome anything. But you have to recognize, again, where you stand, right? So here we go. As crazy as it sounds, a lot of people, believe it or not, operate in the most basic dimension that you can, which is just existing. All right, now the reason I use an N to explain that is because an N basically means neutral, right? Now, neutral is the worst thing you can do in anything, right? Both relationship and in life, right? Because there's a little thing called father time. Father time is one thing you can't control, and it basically going through everybody, right? So father time, even though you exist, means you're going forward, but not you necessarily, but time, which means you have limited time to do shit, which is why I say neutral is the worst move you can do, because you ain't doing shit. Does that make sense? Mansplain, there you go, just like that. So to give you an example of neutral in a relationship, right, based thing, it's like a guy that has a crush, right, on a girl. So he goes neutral by basically having the crush, right, and not doing anything about it. And that's what most people do, right? Like, I'll give you another example, right? Like in a war, for example, you choose to do nothing, then you basically stand for nothing. Does that make sense? Right? And you're doing, it means, like, I'll give you another example. If you are in a car crash, for example, right? A car crash, and you make no moves by staying neutral, you actually are more likely to die from the car crash than a person that actually made a move, even if it's wrong or right? So there you go. I think I can't explain it any more simpler than that. That's neutral. Now let's go to 1D, right? Now 1D, you're finally moving forward, which means you're doing something. Now, you can go back as well, right? Like forward and back, but that's it. You don't see past any other moves other than forward and back. So I know this has been explained over and over again, right? It's kind of like a piece of paper one of those little cartoons and shit, right? That like it's animated and shit, but it's paper. It's at the paper dimension, which means you can only see certain things from the level of paper, right? Which is why I'm talking about this sort of stuff, so you can see past your own vision, right, if you will, abilities, stuff like that. So this 1D gives you, like I said, forward and backwards. You're at least not neutral no more, right? Now 2D, believe it or not, is where most people are operating, right? It's like they can now have forward, backwards, up, and down. That's 2D, right? Basically gives you two abilities now in when you're operating in life and stuff like that. So now where I want you to operate, which is why I always say think outside the box, that would be 3D, right? 3D, that's 3 dimensions, right? Or however you want to view it, but basically gives you one more ability. So it's going to be represented by this line right here, right? So now you got up, down, back, forward, and you got the ability to actually predict a move, right? Or anticipate moves, which is why it's always called 3D chess, right? Somebody's playing 3D chess. That means you're gonna make a move. Well, sorry about that. Give me just a second. Technical difficulties there. So anyways, yeah, 3D, right? Now you're playing 3D chess. You're able to do and make a move and predict what your other person's gonna do, right? So you're gonna make a move so that you can see, you predict the move that's gonna happen. So you make the move so that they make the move out of consequence of the move that you do. Does that make sense? And that's where you're gonna start operating if you get on board with the Space Luchador program in relationships. That's the level I want you guys to finally be at, so that you can see all the shit that happens in relationships. Like I always say, the single moms, the girlfriends, the wife, they're all basically work in that dimension. All right. Now, I do want to say, as crazy as it sounds, they have, and by they I mean women, have the ability, certain abilities that you don't have, right, as a man, because of the clear fact that you are not a woman, right? They're the woman. You're supposed to be the man. That's it. All right? However, that doesn't mean you don't get to know their move sets, if you will. All right? The advantage that they have is that they know your move sets. They know all of them. Now, this is the problem that's going on today, right? They know all the moves, but then they get confused when you're not doing those damn moves. See what I mean? Because for some reason, some strange reason, women know the moves, but men no longer know the moves. And that confuses the woman even more than they already are. So there you go. But eventually, I want to get you guys on 4D. That's right, 4D. Now, 4D takes you to a whole another level, right? Now, this one gives you the ability I like to call time jump, right? Time jump, which means you can actually change shit. But before we get there, right, obviously you need to get past this part before you ever even start looking at this. So let's go back to 3D for now. So 3D is basically gonna be my interpretation of how I operate, for example, right? Just to give you a quick example of how the space luchador operates. I see things like the man's point of view, right? I see things in third person, right? Which means, give you an example, right? On a date, right? You got you and the girl. But if you have, now this is just hypothetical, right? If you had the ability to have a wingman, right? And I'm not talking about one that's talking in your ear, but sort of. But let's just say, for argument's sakes, that you had the ability, right, to see third party in real time, right? Which means you're on the date, but you get to see it in third person. Now that's what I'm talking about. Something, an ability, right, that, is out there, but it actually exists, right? And I'm telling you this because, well, it's a fact, at least for me. So there you go. To give you an example how that's a useful tool, right? You get to see while you're on the date or whatever it is you're doing, third person, right? You get to see it from back, which I like thinking outside the box, is what I'm saying, right? So any shit that's going on while it's going on, you get to see it ahead of time before it happens. Now, I know this shit sounds crazy, but I can give you that ability, right? Which is what I want. I want you to get to that ability so that you can see past all the shit that's out there in the internet, right? There's a lot of shit. There's like dating gurus and even girls nowadays coaching guys on how to get girls, right? And then there's like girls giving you red flags and the secrets and all of this and the red pills and black pills and manosphere and all that shit that's out there, right? So give me just a second. Be right back. So like I said, right, the actual goal of all of this is to eventually get to 4D, right? Now, I will eventually get to that. So I know I've been telling all these damn horror stories and all these like rants and all that, but now it's finally time for those that may be new to the Space Luchador Man's Point of View channel. What I'm all about, right, is not just relationships, but this goes deeper than you think, right? This can be used on your daily life, literally, right? This is the hero's journey, a how-to on literally fixing all of your problems, all right? And a byproduct or like a bonus is that you're gonna actually learn the actual answers, okay? Because I myself, been looking for answers and stuff like that, and some people are close, but not all seem to understand it or get it, and I think it's because they're closed-minded, right? That's one. Two, they refuse to believe shit like this, right? They refuse to believe that there's some things that are basically meant to be the way they are, right? And then if you actually get into it, right, and passionate about it, you learn that there is a reason why they are the way they are. And you kind of have to go through it. It's a must, which is why in this universe of existence where we all exist, believe it or not, we're in a fish tank, right? And the beauty of the fish tank, even though it's also like maybe a curse, but the beauty of the fish tank is that we are all subject to the rules within the fish tank, right? Which therefore, if the rules and laws some of them can't be broken, right? And we're all pretty much on the same playing field, right? Other than the fact that there's men and there's women. Now, I know that's controversial, but it is what it is, all right? And other than that, we have a mission to do. Men and women both have a mission, right? And that's where everything's all fucked up and confused out there in the world, Right now, no one seems to know what the damn mission is. They're all ashamed of what they are and stuff like that, and specifically men. But we're gonna go ahead and go through the journey of the hero's journey, right? For any of those out there that want to actually make a difference in their life, right? I'm telling you that the answer to all of your problems, literally, is manhood. All right? You want a purpose, you want a reason, you want something to do, maybe entertainment, whatever the hell it is. Women, right? The way to get that is through manhood. Gives you something to do, right? It's gonna be fulfilling, all of that. And then once you see that this shit really works, and you get hooked on it, kind of like a drug, then at some point you start building yourself up, and there you go. You'll be like, oh, Space Luchador, tell me more, right? Which is what I want to. So there you go. 1D, 2D, 3D, right? And there's more dimensions, but for now, I just wanted to explain how that works and give you an idea of, if you continue to follow, the man's point of view and the Space Luchador, shit like this, it ain't just all shit talking and ranting. There's actual science behind the Space Luchador shit, right? And what I say, right? It's just so damn complicated, right, to sort of explain it, right? Because it's out there, but it is a real thing. So there you go. And hopefully in future videos, right, you guys we're gonna start to understand with the Space Luchador, all this damn gibberish that I'm talking and shit, where this fits in. All right, so neutral, you're gonna hear a lot in the videos and stuff like that. And 3D, it's like a moveset, like I said, right? You get to see in third person before it happens, and then you'll be shocked and amazed when you're like, you see it, then it happens, and then, oh shit, maybe there's something to this. So there you go. I'm gonna use actual science, right? And moves. This ain't like a tips and tricks, but you're gonna train to see the red flags, to see all the moves, to basically play chess, not checkers, like I've been saying this whole damn time. So there you go. Quick, well, maybe not that quick video, but hopefully this video somewhat explains what the mission is, right? It's to be better at what you are. First, to recognize what you are, right? To those that want to join the Space Luchador, you are a man. If you choose this path, all your problems are gonna go away. Trust me. 2, you're gonna be the best man that you can be. And 3, you can have anything you want so long as you follow the man's way, right? So there you go. And here's the beauty part. Bonus of all of this is women, which is what we all really want, right? And those that say they don't are bullshitting you. Everything that's ever happened in the history of the world had a woman right in the middle of it. And you don't believe me? That's a fact. You gotta look it up. So there you go. Space Luchador out on this one. I know this one's a little out there, but there you go. So if you like this video, give me a like, give me some more subscriptions so I could do some more of this crazy shit and show you the secrets of the universe like I've been saying this whole damn time. And yeah, there you go. Space Luchador out on this one, and I'll see you on the next one, which I'm gonna start breaking more shit down so all this starts making sense. So there you go. Space Luchador out.